Welcome students to the online study. Today we will see the explanation of lesson number 2, The Adventures of Toto, written by Ruskin Bond. Let us have the details about the author or the writer Ruskin Bond, who was born on 19th May 1934 in Punjab. He spent his childhood in Gujarat and Shimla. He did his schooling from Bishop Cotton School, Shimla, from where he graduated in 1950. He won several writing competitions in the school. Most of Ruskin's work are influenced by the life of hill stations where he had spent his childhood. His first novel, The Room on the Roof, was written when he was 17 and published when he was 21. In 1978 Hindi film Junoon is based on Bond's historical novel A Flight of Pigeons and is directed by well-known director Shyam Benegal. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children literature in India. He got the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. He was awarded the Padma Shri Award in 1999 and Padma Bhushan Award in 2014. So have a look on the theme of this lesson, Adventures of Toto. We must love animals. Better is for us if we keep them as pet animals in our homes. In fact, there are some animals like monkeys cannot be kept in our homes as pet animals for their particular traits. But we must give them a chance to live with us because they need our love and compassion. This lesson deals with the theme of loving animal and keeping some animal as pet animals. But there are some animals which are not supposed to keep as a pet animal because of their natural trait or natural habits. It's not possible for us to accommodate them in our homes. Now, the adventure of Toto is about a monkey. So let's begin the explanation. The grandfather was fond of animal. He bought a monkey and named this monkey Toto. He brought this monkey from a Tonga driver for 5 rupees. Now in this lesson there is a grandfather who bought a monkey worth of 5 rupees from a Tonga driver. The Tonga driver used to keep the monkey tied to a feeding trough, as the grandfather had his own private zoo, so he decided he would add Toto to his zoo. The speciality about this grandfather is that he loved animals. He was fond of animals. Even in fact, he had a private zoo in which he kept many animals. So when he came across this monkey, he bought this monkey for 5 rupees and thought that he will transfer that monkey into the private zoo where he will live with other animals. Now, Toto, it was a pretty monkey. Toto was a pretty monkey. His fingers were quick and he used his tail as a third hand. He used it to hang from a branch of tree. His presence was kept secret from the grandmother. Toto is very quick monkey. He would jump on the branches of tree. He would use his tail as his third hand. Now when grandfather bought this monkey to the house, it was kept as a secret. It was not disclosed even to the grandmother. His presence was kept secret from the grandmother as she did not like animals. Now see here, grandfather, he is very fond of animals. Grandmother, she did not like animals. Therefore, the grandfather did not disclose the presence of Toto in their home. Toto was very naughty. One day, he disturbed many things in the room. Now, when he was kept inside the house, as you know, monkeys are very naughty, mischievous. So, this monkey Toto, it scratched the wall, it tore the clothes and the beds. So, this monkey did many mischievous things in the house. As a result of which, the grandfather decided to transfer this monkey into a big cage where other animals lived, because it's not possible for him to keep it in his own house, because it was naughty, mischievous, it did damaged the house. So it is not possible to accommodate this Toto in the house. Now there happened to be a time when grandfather had to go to Saharanpur to collect the pension. And this time, he thought to take Toto along with him, because he thought that if Toto would be in the house or in the zoo, it would disturb other animals. In fact, he did. He disturbed the other animals. So, grandfather, when he was about to go to Saharanpur, he thought that he will carry Toto in a bag along with him. So the arrangements was made. The grandfather bought a big black canvas bag and Toto was put inside that bag. On the way to the Saharanpur, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag. As you know that the animals, they like to move around. They do not like to be restricted. So inside that bag, this Toto felt uncomfortable. Inside that bag, Toto found it difficult to manage. Somehow, after struggling a lot, it poked his head out of the bag. Now, when this was made known to the ticket checker, the ticket collector, while ticket collector came into the compartment of the train, while he was checking the tickets of the grandfather, at that moment, Toto poked his head out of the bag. Now, as a result of which, this ticket collector could not understand what is that. Then he said that it is a dog in his bag. The ticket collector, he thought that this is a dog, and thus he fined the grandfather 300 rupees, because it is not legal to carry any animal without the ticket, without the permission. So he was fined, the grandfather was fined 300 rupees to carry this Toto in his bag. And when the ticket collector asked that, is any other animal with you, the grandfather took out the turtle from his pocket. He was also carrying the turtle. So grandfather asked whether he will be charged any fine for carrying the turtle. The tax collector, ticket collector said that no fine will be charged for carrying a turtle because it is not a dog. Now that thing is over. That is the incident that happened to the grandfather when he was charged for carrying the monkey in the bag. Now afterward, when they returned back to the home, Toto was kept in the zoo. When Toto was finally accepted in the house, now this time all the things about Toto is known to the others, including the grandmother. She came to know about Toto, and finally, however, the grandmother accepted this Toto in the house. He was given a comfortable home in the stable, but he kept troubling Nana, a family donkey. Now animals, they sometimes when they live together, they fight or they trouble other animals. So what happens? The grandfather had a family donkey as a pet animal. So this monkey, it troubled that donkey. Sometimes, it troubled him so badly. Toto and Nana never became friends. Thus, Toto and Nana never became friends because both of them, they troubled each other. Now, one of the very important thing about Toto is the bath. When Toto was allowed to take bath in a vessel, the great treat for Toto was warm water bath in the winter evening. Now this is the time of the winter season when Toto was allowed to take bath in the warm water in the winter time. One day, one mishappening happened. What was that? As usual, the grandmother, she placed a vessel on the stove, on the fire, so that she could boil water for the tea. Now Toto, he thought to have a bath in the warm water. Now the procedure of his bathing is that he would come near the vessel. He would check the warm water by hands. He would check the temperature of the water. Once he is sure that water is warm, then he entered the kettle or the vessel for the bath. So that thing happened here. The procedure is followed here. Toto, when he came and saw that the kettle is placed on the fire and he checked the temperature of the water, Then he realized that the water is warm and it is a great treat for Toto to have a warm water bath. Now listen carefully what happened to Toto. So he touched the water, he realized the temperature, and he put his legs into the water. He sat in that kettle, he sat in that vessel. Now the point is, the water is getting warm. The grandmother left that water on the fire so that it could boil. But at the initial stage, the water was a little warm. As Toto sat inside that vessel, it was getting higher and higher in temperature. It began to warm and warm and warm. Slowly, when Toto realized that temperature is rising and water is, just boiling, he began to jump. He could not understand that the temperature is, rising, and soon something bad could happen to him. The water will be boiling and he will be in great trouble. And fortunately, at that time, when he was inside that boiling water, struggling for his life, the grandmother entered into the kitchen and saved him. If anyone laughed at him, he felt hurt. Now this is how he had a bath in the winter time. And this misfortune was avoided by the grandmother. Grandmother came and saved Toto from getting boiled in the boiling water. Now he created such nuisance in the house, troubled other animals. Simultaneously, he was not able to be kept in the house anymore. Soon the grandfather decided that Toto was not the type of pet to be kept in the house. One day, one more incident happened. Toto entered into the kitchen, and thus he had seen the edible items, food or rice, which was kept on the table. And he took that entire vessel or the cooker of rice. He jumped on the window. From window, he jumped on the tree. Now see here, this food was prepared for the family members. This food was prepared for the people of the family. This Toto, this monkey, he entered in the dining room. He took that cooker that contained rice. He had taken it to the branch of the tree. He broken the dishes. He broken the vessel. And when the grandmother tried to prevent him, he threw upon her head a glass. He hit a glass on the head of the grandmother. And this turtle, sitting on the branch of the tree, he ate all the rice. And when the rice was finished, he threw that dish, empty vessel, on the ground, and it was broken. And this nuisance of this monkey was unbearable. Now the grandfather, grandmother, they realized that Toto is not a type of monkey that can be kept as a pet animal in the house, because it troubled them, it damaged their house, It damaged the walls of the house. It damaged the curtains of the house. Moreover, now this time it has taken their food and broken many dishes and vessels. So as a result of which, the grandfather, he decided to sell this monkey to the Tonga driver. And finally, Toto was sold back to the Tonga driver in 3 rupees only. Listen me. When the Toto was brought by the grandfather, it worth 5 rupees. And now when it is sold back, it worth 3 rupees. So in loss, the grandfather sold back Toto. Not only this loss, but the loss that was fined in the train as well, 300 rupees. Thus, the chapter depicts that there are many animals which can be kept in the home, but there are some animals which cannot be kept in the home as a pet animal. These are the adventures of Toto the monkey.